Over the last couple of years, CFMOTO has been hitting the motorcycle industry harder and harder every year. Well, today I'm out here at the CFMOTO 2025 Dealershow to see all of their new product coming next year and obviously late this year in 2024. What's up, guys? It's your boy Patty Rick for Chase on Two Wheels, and as you may or may not know, this season on WBR Garage we are giving away a 450 SS as well as a 300 SS, but those are previously model year bikes. So let's see what bikes are on the horizon for CFMOTO and let's rate them. I got a really fun way to do that for you later in the show, so you guys stick around and see what that's all about. Alrighty gang, let's go over how this rating system is gonna work. I've got 4 categories in mind when I've been riding these bikes today: style, performance, comfort, and value. And of course, I'm gonna score each one up to about 5 points each for a total of 20 possible points. So as we get into that, let's jump onto the first bike, and I think I gotta try out that 675. Alrighty guys, our first bike we're testing today is the brand new 2025 CFMOTO 675 SS, 95 horsepower, 50 something odd pound-feet of torque out of a brand new engine from CFMOTO. We've got dual calipers on the front, 320 mil rotors with the Chaseontwowheels 4-pot calipers, so plenty of stopping power. Best thing about this is meant as a really sporty bike. So as you guys can see, we've got the brake ducting to go along with it that you can absolutely wail on these brakes and they're not going to fade out, they're not going to overheat. Nothing crazy like that is going to happen due to all that air ducting on the front. Speaking of air ducting on the side here, you guys can see we've got the vents on the side of the bike and the winglets that are down in there, so super cool to see CFMOTO kind of following what a lot of the other big, really sport-heavy manufacturers are doing with putting winglets on street bikes. I think it's really cool. So there's a ton of new tech on this bike, which is fantastic. We've got multiple stage traction control, we've got multiple stage ABS, I believe there's a couple different ride modes, and then this bike does have TPMS, so tire pressure monitoring system. So super cool to have that on a bike at this price point. Oh man, hauling absolute ass there. She boogies, and that's not even full throttle. She pulls like a freight train. We'll get up here, going straight. We'll test these brakes out. And here we go. Oh my God. Holy shit, gang. Quick shifter's great. Brakes feel fantastic. Sounds absolutely wicked. The rear sets are really high up for me. I mean, it's a sport bike. It's not going to be comfortable for me. That just kind of is what it is. But golly, guys. Oh! I love that screen. We got a couple different trip things at the bottom down there, fuel mileage and things like that. We don't care about that on a super sport or on a sport bike. Oh, is that cruise control? Possibility of cruise control. Looks like we've already got a couple different adjustments on the bars that you can put on this. We've got the CNC'd front piece, accessory little reservoir cap, accessory levers. That's an accessory. Oh, guys. I mean, it's an extreme first impressions, but this thing is very cool. Oh, front wheel definitely comes up. Woo-hoo-hoo! Jeez, guys. That is impressive. I think that's really all I can say about this thing is wow. It is frankly impressive just how good this feels. You know, you guys know I'm not a sport bike guy, so for me to hop onto this bike and immediately be that comfortable with, you know, the seating position and how everything feels and where the controls are, they're really naturally well laid out. So I'm very, very happy with that. Surprisingly, I'd be very happy to spend a whole afternoon on this thing today, but unfortunately, that is just not a possibility. So we are back here. We're gonna pull this thing over here, get some photos, get some video for you guys so y'all can see what this thing is really about. Because holy shit, gang, this thing is ridiculous. Oh my God.
All right, guys, just got done with my quick little ride on the 675. So now I'm gonna go over the scoring system that we talked about earlier in the day. For a total of 20 points, we've got style, performance, comfort, and value. Let's see what this little guy can really put out for us. All right, guys, so the first thing we're gonna score on is performance. And out of 5 points, I'm probably gonna give this guy a solid 4. It performs really, really well. It does have a couple of great modes to it. It's got different traction control systems and all sorts of stuff like that. The brakes work fantastic, and that engine has plenty of punch. So really happy with it overall. I'm not quite sure what would get it to a 5, but I really, really enjoyed it. The next thing we are going to score is going to be comfort and comfortability. I did say that, you know, with rear sets and me being a really tall guy and it being a sport bike, that body position is not personally comfortable for me. That being said, the ability to get really comfortable with the bike really quickly is something that I do count into this score. You know, knowing the controls are exactly where I feel like they should be. The quick shifter feels great. The pedal placement for both the brake and the shifter are great. So comfortability wise, it's probably gonna be a 3. Again, that's just a sport bike, so that is what it is. It's not gonna be comfortable for long hauls or anything like that, although the seat is really wide and does give you a good cushion. So stylistically, it's hard to not give this thing a 5 out of 5. It is absolutely beautiful. From the lines that they've been doing on these SS models for quite a while now, these pops of color on kind of the built-in sliders that they've got, the winglets down inside of there, it's hard to look at this bike and go, no, that's ugly, because it really isn't. It's a really beautifully designed bike. I'm a big fan, 5 out of 5 for that. And last but not least is value. This thing's value for money is absolutely bananas. With an MSRP right here, it is really, really difficult to not go holy shit when you look at this bike. Compared to other sport bikes of a similar kind of style, this bike is a fantastic value with almost all, if not more, performance than other bikes in its category. It's hard to not give it a 5. So we'll throw our total score right here on the screen. Let me know, what do you guys think? Did I score it too well? Did I not score it well enough? Out of 20 points total, that's pretty solid.
So the new Ibex 450, this guy has got a couple of great stats that we got to talk about real quick. Obviously, first and foremost, is it looks like a tiny rally bike. It looks like a race bike. If you're into that sort of thing, I definitely am. Stats-wise, let's talk about components real quick. We've got KYB suspension front and rear. It's fully adjustable on the front. It is preload and compression adjustable on the rear. No rebound adjustment back there. It's got that same architectured 450 that the SS, the CLC, and a couple of other, and all the other 450 bikes that CFMOTO offers. It has the same engine. Big difference is going to be the tunes on these engines. So the 450 SS makes about 50 horsepower. This guy's making about 44, but this guy does make more torque. It makes closer to that 38 torque number. It's a little bit higher than that of the SS model. Immediate judgment on the road. This bike is all stock outside of the tall seat, which I elected for. I'm a tall guy. Immediately comfortable. Like, the seat's really wide, really cushiony. I like the width of the handlebars. Feels really good. You know, passing power, 6 gear, crack it open. It does open up a little bit. I love that. Let's see. Really easy to get her slowed down and tilted in. Love that. Revs out nicely. Really linear power band, just kind of, it doesn't jump out at you. It doesn't try to lift the front wheel really at these speeds, but it is linear and it's very, very smooth. You know, there's not a weird dip in the power band, at least not in the high RPMs. It feels good. Very agile. Easy to move the weight of the bike around. Wow, yeah. Even on a 21-inch front, it changes directions really well. I'm gonna hit the bumps on purpose. Suspension really absorbs it. There's a little bit of vibration, like engine vibration in the foot pegs. That being said, the rubber insert has been pulled out of these for a little more grip with my off-road boots. But overall, I'm pretty happy with how this feels. Check out this windshield, just one touch, you roll that guy down to adjust it. It's got about 4 inches of overall adjustment on this guy. Now, when you adjust it up, it does take a little bit of effort to get it turned, but it's really not bad. I do like it in the high position. You definitely, wind hits about here on me. It's really not terrible. Even then, 6th gear, 60 miles an hour, turning 5,500 RPM. For kind of this engine size and class, that's pretty standard. I'm pretty happy with that. Feels good. Again, I like the handlebar width. It feels nice. It looks like they have them rolled back a little bit, so we can always roll them forward if we wanted a little taller. How's the standing position? Oh, standing's great. I would roll the bars forward a little bit. I've got a little bit of bend in my arms, but I'd like a little bit more. But, you know, honestly, that's not bad at all. This guy's definitely going to score high on the comfort scale for me. Really, really comfortable. Wow, that's easy to turn around. Back in regular ABS mode. We're going to test the brakes from 60. Wow. Solid, solid, solid. You could definitely feel the ABS kicking in, especially on the rear there. But really, really smooth on the front. I felt it a little bit on the front, but it's really not much. So even on these CST off-roady kind of tires, able to hold traction really well, so quite happy with that. Looks like we might have some rain coming in, so I'm gonna wrap this up, gang. I'm gonna get back over to the event space. When I get there, we'll do a quick walk around of the bike, and we'll talk about some scores.
All right, guys, I just got back from my quick test ride on the Ibex 450, and man, it is solid. The KYB front and rear suspension is great, fully adjustable on the front, got a good bit of adjustment on the rear. These fold-in mirrors are really neat, fun feature. The one-touch adjustment on the windshield is really, really nice and easy to use, and it's an adventure bike, so you know I'm gonna love it. So, style. You know, this guy's probably a 4 for me. I wish maybe it had a little bit of a more aggressive windshield on it or something like that. I do really love both the style and the comfort of the seat, but I kind of want the rear to have a little bit more lift to it, where it helps you push into the tank a little bit. I think that's really the only docs I have for it on style. Performance, I mean, it's a really well-tuned 450. It's under 400 pounds. It handles great even with a 21-inch front. So for me, it's probably a 4 as well. I do wish it had a little bit more power and a little bit more grip off-road with those tires, but it is a 50-50 split on the tire of on-road, off-road, so totally understand why it rides the way that it does. Comfort, I mean, honestly, it doesn't get a lot better than that. I do want the windshield to be a hair taller. The seat is absolutely fantastic, the tall seat. It's tall and wide, really, really thankful with that. I love the spacing on the handlebars. You know, with that, you're immediately comfortable with all the controls. The shifter's adjustable, obviously, the brake lever is adjustable and all that fun stuff. So being immediately comfortable on a bike like this is really, really nice. I'm gonna give it a 5. And when it comes to value, for $6,500, it's hard to find another adventure bike that does everything this thing does. You guys know I just got back from a Royal Enfield launch on the Hemi 450. It is both similar and very different all at the same time. That is definitely This is a styled bike that is meant for, I think, a little more aggressive off-road riding, and it does on-road fairly well, where the Hemi is more of a true 50-50 split. It does both pretty dang well, but it doesn't do anything perfectly, as I talked about in that video, so I'm gonna give this guy a 5 as well. So there's your points total right there on the Ibex 450. Obviously, I'm a huge fan. I'm an adventure bike nerd, so there may be a little bit of bias there. Is what it is.
All right, guys, so 450 CLC, same engine basically, and similar tune to the 450 SS as well as the Ibex 450. So really happy with that. It's got that same 44 horsepower, 38-ish pound-feet of torque that the Ibex 450 has. So stoked on that they're kind of going with the cruiser vibes, giving a little bit of torque. That exhaust sounds great. It's got a little bit of low-end grunt to it. Let's see, can we change the screen? I don't know if we can, I don't know how. Yeah, I don't know, looks good. RPMs are digital at the bottom and then it's a speedo. We're gonna get rocking and rolling. So immediately the handlebars are very swept back. It looks like they are similar to how they are on the Ibex. You could rotate them up or down. Immediately I like the placement. Again, surprisingly good kind of leg and foot placement. These are kind of forward-ish controls. Brake placement's good. I like the shifter placement a lot. You know, clutch and brake feel good. No worries there. I do like this dash. It's very kind of old schooly. It's kind of got that chrome vibe on the needle. Very kind of classic, classic car, classic cruiser. Fairly nimble for a cruiser. Let's see. Oh, brakes feel good. Getting her turned in nicely, rolling full throttle. Run her up to that 8,000 RPM. Wow, she accelerates well. There's 70. Interesting. It's like the speedo kind of moves incrementally. That's definitely an interesting look. It's counting, I guess, by individual mile an hour, or maybe by every 2. That's rad. That's very, very cool. The seat needs help. I'm a big fella, but this seat has very little cushion to it. That's going to take out the comfort score a little bit for sure. The leg placement feels great. I can grab the tank with my knees without any real issue, and I could definitely drive the bike with my feet. Ooh, bumps. Oh man, oh, that's not good on these bumps. Wow, okay. Not great. Then again, I'm a big guy. These are non-adjustable front forks. I believe it's a preload adjustable rear setup. No cruise control, I don't think. It feels really good leaned over. I mean, like moving side to side feels great. Really happy with that feeling. But yeah, the suspension leaves a little to be desired, and this seat is pretty awful. It's very hard. The seating position is good. I like the seating position. Yeah, overall pretty solid in the comfort category. Performance-wise, I mean, this engine's great. 5th gear, low in the RPM, just rolling on full throttle, and she pulls pretty good. Do a quick braking test for you from about 50, and go. Wow, that's fantastic. Felt the ABS a little bit, had a little bit of tire noise, which is to be expected. Oh, turning around, super easy. Great turning radius on this bike. All right, let's run her up. All right, so 92 is red line. You can tell 5th gets long. Okay, 80. 80 in 5th gear with no real issue. There you go. It's definitely got the power. That 450 is stout. I really like this engine. I love that they're putting it in just about every friggin' platform they can think of, because why would you not? Develop the engine one time, change the tunes a little bit, You know, visually this engine looks very different. It's got a couple of different cool kind of stylistic things. It's got the air-cooled fins on it. It's got like a retro-looking CFMOTO logo, so that's cool. I love the gas cap, very retro, 1989. This is the 35th anniversary of CFMOTO this year, so that's pretty rad. Let's hop on the freeway here in just a moment and see how she does. There's obviously no wind protection, so the wind's just kind of hitting me in my face and my chest, which is not a bad thing. God, that low end grunt on this engine feels and sounds so good. And even as it revs out, like, it just continues to produce power. You know, we're rating out of 4 categories here, which we'll talk about here in just a moment, but it's hard to not give everything a high value rating when they just legitimately are priced so aggressively, so well. So happy with that. We're gonna run down here and do our loop-de-loop on the exit up here, and I will see you guys back at the demo truck. I'll catch up with you in a moment.
All right, guys, so just got done on the 450 CLC, the newest cruiser from CFMOTO, replacing both of the 700 outgoing models. Really enjoyed this guy. There's got a couple of gripes here and there about it, as you guys heard in the moto vlog, but overall, really like it. So let's go through the ratings real quick, see how many points we can get. So performance, I really like this engine. The brakes are really good. The suspension could use some help. It's just a little too soft for me, and it seems like the pegs are really low compared to the amount of lean angle you can get. So I'm probably gonna put our performance number about 3, but it is a cruiser, it's not really a performance machine, so that's gotta be an understandable thing. As it pertains to style, stylistically, I love this bike. You know, for a cruiser, the big kind of meaty tires, the little bit of a sweep back on the handlebar, the bar and mirrors look really nice. I love this colorway. I much prefer this to the all black model. This gives a little bit more character than the full black, but it's still really pretty. And of course the styling kind of down on the engine and stuff, that is really pretty. Happy with that. So styling wise, probably gonna go with a 4. It's of course not the most beautiful bike in the world, but it is certainly really good for what it is. Comfort wise, it's gonna be a middle of the road score for me. I thought the handlebars were really well placed. The foot pegs are well placed. That ergonomic triangle is quite good. I think really the downfalls are gonna be the suspension's a bit too soft for my personal taste. So for me, it's not gonna get the greatest comfort score of all time. It definitely has great handlebar and foot peg placement, although it does scrape peg a little too easily for me. The suspension is soft, but almost too soft to where you're getting to the end of the stroke. I'm a big guy, so I tend to put a lot of work in these suspensions, so definitely could be better there. And then the seat, although the shape is quite nice, I don't know if it's like this metal piece there or what it is, but it does kind of like, it's really hard right on my tailbone. It's not super comfortable. I wish they had, I was talking to some of the guys, maybe a single rider seat with a little bit more foam, maybe some gel in it, something like that as an option. That would definitely improve the comfort of this bike, especially for tall people because we're sitting further back on the seat. So comfort-wise, we're probably looking at a 3, but then value-wise, holy crap, it's such a good value. It's got really great power. It is fun to ride. It leans over well. I think stylistically it looks good. Could use a couple of upgrades here and there for comfort and performance, but that is what it is. I think value-wise, it's also gonna be a 5 for me. I don't know if there's another cruiser in the market that has got this much tech in it, a full digital dash. It's got this many options that allow you to really enjoy a lot of things differently with this bike. It's got great brakes, it's got great power and acceleration. It's fairly comfortable to ride on the freeway. A little bit of wind protection, different seat would make it even better. So I think value-wise, it's gonna be a 5 for sure. This price point is incredible. It is right here. I don't know what it is off the top of my head, but it's very good. So overall, your point total, right up here in the corner of the screen or over here, wherever. And then let's go ahead and get a breakdown of what all these bikes kind of scored out at. All right, guys, it has been a fantastic couple of days here at the CFMOTO 2025 dealer show. I've got their whole lineup. I'm back in the main room today to kind of get a couple little last pieces of content before I head out for the week. But just wanted to give you guys a quick wrap up. I had an absolute blast. Tons of really cool people, great restaurants, great food, fantastic bikes. So an absolute blast of a time the last couple of days. You can hear my voice is almost gone. We've been having such a good time. My favorite bike for me personally is probably got to be that Ibex 450. It just fits my adventure style really, really well. I'm absolutely in love with that bike right now. I am super stoked to see what Chase thinks of that 675 as we get back home and those bikes become available towards the end of this year. So I'm sure he's going to be super stoked about that. I've already FaceTimed him and he was like obsessed with it. So hoping that that we get one of those bikes later on this year. And then of course, outro crew, you guys are here at the very end of the video. Jump down in the comment section down below, throw an OC in front of your comment, and let me know what was your favorite bike that we got to check out on this trip, or is there something that I totally missed that you guys wanted to see? Jump in the comments and let me know. Again, it's been your boy Patty Rick for Chase on Two Wheels. I'm sorry, I'm very tired. I don't have a lot of energy. It's been a great, crazy week, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Thanks, bye. Oh, there's so much going on right now. I don't know why I paused, but that's a good take. I'm tired.